Anthony Hernandez has released a statement on his loss to Sean Strickland. He posted this on Instagram immediately after the fight. In the caption, he wrote, "Thank you for the love, Houston. The energy was unreal. Congratulations to Sean. He was the better man tonight. Much respect. I'll be back better than ever." Sean left a comment on the post. He wrote, "Warrior, thanks for sharing the cage with me."
Well, first things first, thank you guys so much, everyone who came out, showing me a lot of love. That was f***ing awesome. Players up. I mean, I was on an 8-fight win streak. Felt like things were going smooth until I got hit with a f***ing body shot. Happens, part of the game. Took 6 years for someone to finally beat me. I'll be back.
Sean Strickland had mixed emotions backstage following his TKO win over Anthony Hernandez last night.
I'm just happy, dude. Like, it's my job. I love it. Like I said, I can't tell you how many times I've been in that blue room where Fluffy is, my head down, having to go see my family and some piece of shit. It's like, I understand the duality of it. I understand what it's like to win and lose. So it feels good, but in the same time, there's another man that's going home, feeling like the biggest piece of shit. Happy and sad at the same time.
Khamzat Chimaev responded to Sean Strickland's call out last night on X. He wrote, "Habibi, calm down. I destroyed the guy who beat you twice. American."
Look, we just won 8 in a row. You something. You're a former champion. What do you want next show?
Dana White has addressed the rumors that Alex B could vacate the light heavyweight title to move up and face Ciryl Gane for the interim heavyweight belt. There has also been speculation about Khamzat Chimaev moving up to light heavyweight to fight Yuri Prohaska for the vacant title. Dana said he's willing to work with Alex on whatever he wants to do, but added he would prefer to see Khamzat remain at middleweight and defend his belt.
Alex Pereira teasing potentially going up to heavyweight. Do you want to see him compete at heavyweight, or do you want to see him defend the light heavyweight title in his next match?
Well, he's one of those guys that that always steps up, does whatever we need him to do. Whatever that guy wants to do, we would work with him.
We've seen Khamzat Chimaev fight at welterweight. We see him fight at middleweight. Is he someone that if he says, "Hey, I want to fight at light heavyweight," we'd see him fight at light?
I'd like to see him defend his title at at a weight first. Yeah, I'd like to see him defend his title before he talks about jumping around from, you're going to keep going up in weight divisions without defending. Yeah, I'd rather see him defend.
Dana White also addressed Sean Strickland in his controversial comments this week, leading into UFC Houston. He thinks the media baited Sean into saying, quote-unquote, dumb.
I know the answer to this, but when you look at Strickland and what comes next with him, he's calling for a Khamzat fight, stuff like that. There's no, what he says during media day and things like that. That doesn't affect your booking of him, right? You are still happy to put him in those?
It's a nightmare. But you guys don't help. Asking them dumb, ask dumb, you're going to get dumb. What'd you think of Bad Bunny? What'd you think of the Super Bowl? Get the out of here. You kidding me? Yeah. So when you talk about what Strickland says, you guys like to push the buttons.
Fair enough.
Bruce Buffer says he has no plans on retiring anytime soon and wants to announce UFC 400.
Absolutely. It was recognition from the crowd because the UFC fans are just incredible. It was recognition, humbly said, from my peers and the powers that be at the UFC and everybody I work with, including all of you. So it just meant so much to me. And yes, there were tears. Absolutely. A man who can't show tears at a vital moment in their life, they're missing something.
It's so rare for anybody to do something for 30 years and still have the same passion that they had in the beginning. Where does that come from?
When I stepped in the octagon 30 years ago, obviously, again, my evolutionary process, things have changed, the way I announce, the way I move and everything else. But I will tell you truth today. Every night I walk in that octagon, I have to prove to myself, to you, to the fans, the powers that be, everybody watching, and especially to the fighters, that I deserve to be there and share that moment and roar them and enhance that moment for them as best as possible. I always say the show is not about me, because it's not. It's about the fighters and it's about the fans And that's what we're here to do. But I have to prove to myself. And the moment that I don't have that passion, and the moment that I physically and mentally can't do it the way I want to do it, that's when the time would be for me to retire. But you know what? UFC 400, here I come. And then I'll make a decision after that.
Here was Merab Dvalishvili and Nina Drama's live reaction to Sean Strickland's win.
He needed that win, dude. He did it. I'm so proud of him. Is the camera working? Are we still live? Oh, we are? It says, It's good, Merab. Yeah, right? Yeah. We go backward. Oh, the other way. You're in reverse. You haven't done this since you were a kid?
Yeah, I was doing this every training session. But now, yeah, I haven't done it.
What is it, like a stretch?
Here's footage of Eroso's medic backstage after knocking Jeff Neal out cold.
Here we are, another victory. Step closer to our goal of top 15. Not a scratch, yeah? Another dream accomplished. This Monday, top 15. It's me, baby. It's me, top 15.
Daniel Cormier believes Khamzat Chimaev would struggle against the version of Sean Strickland that fought Anthony Hernandez.
Can Sean defend Khamzat to the point that he doesn't get ridden out and taken down and controlled for 25 minutes? I don't know that. I don't know that. But I tell you one thing that I do know is that if that guy that showed up tonight shows up in that fight, it will be much more difficult a fight for the great Khamzat Chimaev. Why? Because even Israel Adesanya, at the peak of his power, struggled with that version of Sean Strickland. The Dricus du Plessis fight, it didn't seem like Sean was locked all the way in. He seemed a little messed up, and it showed. It showed his body language, his posture, his lack of confidence. It showed in his coach getting frustrated. There were a number of reasons why he just didn't look the same. But tonight he looked the same. He looked like the guy that became the world champion. And if you tell me he would have won that fight just normal, a decision, he would have did that post-fight interview, everybody would have laughed at him.
Khamzat Chimaev spars Khalil Roundtree. At the UFC Houston post-fight press conference, Sean Strickland trolled Oscar Willis over his friendship with Dan Hooker. As you guys know, this week, Dan's side chick accused him of cheating on her with a man.
Hey, you and Dan Hooker, you dirty I knew you knew that. I knew you were going to bring that up.
You know, when that happened, that came out, it wasn't lost on me that it was a Sean Strickland fight week that I would have to go and deal with afterwards, you know?
But no, they accuse you, right, of banging Dan, right?
They accuse me.
Dude, no, I could see Dan like an opponent. I'm not saying Dan's a gay man, but I could see him, I could see him partying a little bit with you. Maybe getting a little bit too loose, waking up to one little sore butthole.
So it was a fantastic...
Community is furious with the UFC and Paramount following last night's post-fight press conference as Sean Strickland began going on a rant about Aspen Ladd's coach Jim West and made allegations of grooming. Promotion cut him off and muted his microphone.
Hey, just a little bit. I noticed in the corner of my eye, Jim West. That motherfucker's looking at me, and I look at Jim West. You'll see, if you look at the fight, I veer off. I'm looking at Jim West. I kept thinking, there's no fucking way I'm gonna let this predator beat me and have a victory over me. You right? So my motivation was thinking about Jim West. I hate that guy. No, it's crazy. And I love Fluffy. He's a stand-up guy. Is there anybody that's 35 around here? Anybody close to 35 years old? Can you picture being 35 years old and meeting a sweet little 14-year-old Aspen lad and saying, I'm going to marry her when she turns 18. That's what Jim West did. So whenever I was in that cage and me and Fluffy are locked in and I'm looking over at Jim West, and I was like, this guy. I am not letting this mother... I wasn't fighting Fluffy. I was fighting Jim West. Swear to God.
To be clear, I did not bait you to say that, correct?
Oh, yeah, you baited the It is good. You made it interesting. I mean, these motherfuckers are so boring in this sport. Like, these guys have no personality. You got Colby, like, the pretend Republican, but, like, who's really, like, entertaining? You got Chimaev, the go like, who's really entertaining in this division? Nobody. So, oh, that's a wrap. Anyways.
Afterwards on X, Sean wrote, Jim was 35, I believe. Almost put hands on him a few years ago. The article states that Aspen Ladd began training with Jim West around age 14. Sean then posted this on Instagram. He said, I didn't even know he was Fluffy's coach. I wasn't fighting Fluffy, I was fighting Jim West. I almost put hands on him a few years ago at the PI. So the comments on the UFC's YouTube channel are brutal today. All of the top comments on the press conference are about this situation. This user writes, wow, Paramount. Seems like there's a censorship in here. Soft mother company cut Sean's mic. Fuck censorship. Paramount on the phone with Dana as we speak. Cowardly mother-uckers shutting it down. They put a leash on him. Cancel Paramount and UFC, censoring the only entertaining fighter they have. What a brilliant idea. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching MMA Daily News. For news and content, subscribe to MMA Daily News and click the bell icon to be notified when we post video. Here are our favorite comments.